You pay $6 for a latte that costs $2 to $4 to make, when including all operational costs, and the standard industry markups help cover the expenses of premium ingredients, skilled baristas, expensive equipment, and prime locations. While coffee pricing reflects the true cost of premium ingredients, skilled preparation, and operational expenses, there are still strategies companies use to maximize profits. Today we're going to examine how coffee pricing actually works and what drives the cost of your daily habit. Number 1. Coffee farmers' share. Let's start with where your money actually goes when you buy that expensive coffee. The farmer who grew your beans receives roughly 7 to 10 cents for every dollar you spend. While still a small fraction, the person who did the actual work, growing, harvesting, and processing the coffee that makes your drink possible, gets more than the commonly cited 2 cents, though it remains disproportionately low compared to their contribution. Number 2, the commodity pricing disconnect. Coffee is indeed traded as a commodity on global markets, with prices fluctuating constantly based on supply and demand. However, retail coffee prices at cafes and shops tend to be sticky downward, meaning they're slow to decrease when commodity costs fall. While coffee shops don't immediately pass on savings from lower commodity prices to consumers, this pricing behavior isn't unique to coffee and reflects various business factors including processing costs, labor, rent, and profit margins that remain constant regardless of bean prices. Number 3, premium coffee labels, real costs versus marketing. Premium coffee labels like organic, fair trade, and single origin do represent real additional production costs. Organic certification requires expensive processes and often results in lower yields. Fair trade ensures higher payments to farmers and better working conditions. Single origin involves more complex sourcing and smaller batches. While retailers may add significant markups beyond these base costs, the labels themselves reflect genuine differences in production methods and supply chain complexity. Number 4, location-based pricing strategy, and that's only scratching the surface of how they manipulate pricing. The same chain coffee shop will charge completely different prices for identical drinks based purely on location. A latte at an airport Starbucks typically costs 10 to 20% more than the exact same drink at a suburban location, using identical ingredients. This location-based pricing strategy takes advantage of captive audiences who have limited alternatives. Number 5, the size psychology trick. Coffee shops use strategic pricing to nudge customers toward larger sizes. They deliberately set small price gaps between sizes. For example, a small might cost $3.50, medium $4.25, and large $4.75. With only 50 to 75 cents separating sizes, customers often think, why not get more for just a little extra? This pricing psychology, known as decoy pricing, makes the largest size seem like the best value even when you don't need that much coffee. Number 6, coffee marketing and consumer habits. Coffee companies do invest in research to understand consumer preferences and optimize their products, including caffeine content. While regular caffeine consumption can lead to mild physical dependence and withdrawal symptoms, there's no evidence that companies deliberately engineer addiction cycles. The coffee industry focuses more on taste, quality, convenience, and brand loyalty rather than exploiting caffeine dependency as a primary business strategy. Number 7, the convenience tax. But perhaps the most cynical aspect is how they've convinced you that convenience justifies extreme markups. You can buy a pound of high-quality coffee beans for $12 that will make about 30 to 35 cups of coffee. That's roughly 35–40 cents per cup. Yet you'll pay $5 for a single cup from a coffee shop using cheaper beans, a markup of over 1,000%. Number 8. The status symbol trap. This brings us to the psychological masterstroke that keeps the whole system running. They've turned overpriced coffee into a status symbol. Carrying a branded coffee cup signals that you can afford premium products, that you have sophisticated taste, that you're successful enough to spend freely on daily luxuries. Coffee shops have successfully transformed a basic commodity into a social signaling device. You're not just buying caffeine, you're buying the public perception that you're the kind of person who drinks expensive coffee. The markup isn't just profit, it's the price you pay to display your socioeconomic status to the world. They've weaponized your own insecurities about how others perceive you to justify charging absurd prices for what's essentially flavored hot water. Number 9. Breaking the coffee matrix. So what can you actually do about this systematic overcharging? The solution is simpler than you think, but it requires breaking the psychological conditioning they've built around coffee consumption. Start making coffee at home using quality beans and equipment. You'll save thousands per year and often get better coffee than what you're overpaying for at shops. When you do buy coffee out, choose local independent shops that don't engage in the same predatory pricing strategies. Most importantly, recognize that expensive coffee is not a necessary daily expense. It's a choice you make, and you have the power to make a different choice. The coffee industry depends on you accepting their pricing as normal and inevitable. Once you see through the manipulation, you can't unsee it. Your wallet will thank you. The next time you're tempted to spend $6 on a latte, remember what you learned today. Those prices aren't based on costs, quality, or even convenience. They're based on psychological manipulation and artificial scarcity. You have more power than the coffee industry wants you to believe. The question is, will you keep playing their game, or will you start playing by your own rules?